Hi, I'm Construction Gamer and you join me on Oakfield Farm for this what should be just a short tutorial on how you can automate your silaging process using Courseplay. Courseplay is only available on the PC and it's still for now a beta. I'm using Courseplay version 6.01.00294 which is one of the most recent builds of the mod. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be mowing this field here using Courseplay. I'm going to be raking and I'm going to be collecting and then taking the chaff over to the BGA to be compacted and then fermented and sold at the BGA plant itself. So for this I am actually using seasons, but it doesn't really matter too much to how this works. All it does, it means that grass takes a bit, well, fields and things take a little bit longer to grow and your silage takes a bit longer to ferment, but I'll be editing all that out so you just get the important bits of what you need to know for this process if you want to automate your silaging yourself. Now we're going to start with mowing this field here. This is field number 29. I am actually using a mod which is the Pottinger Novacat A10 Crossflow. It's a 10 meter mower which has the ability to merge the grass into a single swath as it goes along. But for the purposes of this, I'm going to turn that feature off and show you how you can set this up if you don't have this mod installed, or if you don't have the Krone Big M mower, which also has the same feature, and I'll show you how you can set it up to rake and after that collect the grass as we go along. So without further ado, we'll get on and get this field mowed with this here mower. First things first, you need to open your Courseplay, so it's a right click on the mouse which brings up the Courseplay HUD. Drive into the field a bit. We want to select field work, Courseplay generation, and brings up this HUD here. So the field we have, field 29, like we said, should automatically bring that up if you're within that field boundary. The first thing I always set up is the headland. Now the headland is just how many passes around the edge of the field that you want. So we want an around. You can do narrow field, never use that one, or you can do short edges, which only does the shortest edge. But I just, for mowing anyway, do around. When I'm mowing, I tend to do 3 passes around the headland, which should give the tractor enough room to turn around. And you want start work on headland passes or up down rows. Now this, for mowing, you'd have headland passes. Now if you're doing something like planting or ploughing, you'd have that in up down rows to make it a bit more realistic. So what it does the up down rows like it says, and then after that it does the headland pass, so you get a nice clean plough or seed after you've done the up down rows. But for this we're doing headland pass. Corners, we want them to be nice and smooth. You can have turn, which instead of just driving straight on, it will actually turn 90 degrees to each corner, and this is important for ploughing and sometimes for seeding, but if you've got a trailed seeder then I don't think it worked particularly well. So, but for this we want nice smooth edges. Bypass island, there's no tree in the middle of this field, so we don't need a bypass island activated. If there was a tree, you can activate the bypass island and it will actually drive around the tree automatically. Skip rows, not too sure what that would be for, but I don't use it anyway. Multiple tools, again, just one tool. Now it's set the width here to 9.6. This implement, this mower, is actually 10 meters, so I just want to increase that to the full width and then generate the course, and hopefully that should work like so. Zoom in just so you can see we've got a 10 meter course set in there. Just make sure with this mod the actual mowers you need to use, I'm using an Xbox One controller, so it's L3, LB, and then your right stick to move it out, and the other one is RB to move it in and out with the right stick. So that when you've got those fully extended, that is your full 10 meter width there. So we've got our course, we've got our waypoint, our start point already loaded there. Just going to reverse a little bit just so we're just behind the start point, hopefully not stuck on a post there. And then what we want to do, because this is the very first pass, the very first start, we can actually go start from the first waypoint. So it'll drive up to here. If you haven't already, it will unfold all the equipment and then it will begin to mow the field. So let's click drive course. It's going to drive up to there now, and then it's going to lower the mower, and we're just going to mow this field. And I will do a bit of a time lapse. I might just cut out a bit of it as well, just so we can get on to the next phase and get things rolling. So we're just going to mow this field now. Okie dokie, so this field is almost mowed now according to Courseplay. We've got another 5 minutes 45 seconds before he's finished mowing, which is quite handy that it tells you how long we've got left. I think this tractor is just ever so slightly underpowered for the mower setup. It did struggle a bit on some of the inclines, but it's not doing too badly. So the next thing we want to do while he's finishing off mowing that is start our rake course. Now I've just, like I said, I've been using the crossflow, which has the automatic merging feature. So I've just leased this little tractor here, this little Ford, and this 9-meter rake, just to demonstrate the next bit, which obviously is just raking the field. Now this bit is the crucial part in the automation really, because what we want to do, I'll get the HUD up first, right click the mouse, we want to be on field work, we want course generation, and I reckon probably I'll do 3 headland passes on field 29. We've got the same setup, all here, headland smooth, up, down. We've got the working width, which is 9.3 meters. Now we generate the field course. Now this course has 2 purposes. One, it's going to be the raking course. So what we want to do is we want to save this. So this is field 29, and we're going to be raking with this, but we're also going to be collecting. So I call this one Rake and Collect, like so. Now I don't normally set 2 tractors, 2 courses going at the same time, because they do have a tendency to crash into each other if you're not paying attention, but we'll do it anyway. I'll just back up a little tiny bit, and then we want to start course at the first point, drive the course, unfold the rake, and he's going to get going like so. Now if I just look in my manage courses, I don't think, no, I haven't done Rake and Collect before, but I'll explain that just briefly. He's just raking that now all nicely. He'll do his 3 headland passes, and then he'll do his up down rows, and hopefully they won't crash into each other. Now if I jump into my fence that I have here with the auto loading trailer, get that going into the field as well. Now what we can do with this is, if I bring up the HUD again, if I go into manage courses, go to field 29 Rake and Collect, which is the course we've just set to rake the field, and we can actually use this to collect as well. So if I'll just demonstrate this real quick, because there's something we need to do before we start collection, preferably before anyway, otherwise things don't quite run as smoothly as they otherwise could. So we've got field work set, we've got field 29 Rake and Collect, we want a first waypoint, and then we can drive the course. Now you can see what he will do is he will follow the exact course of the rake, and he'll drive down the middle of that swath there and collect it nicely. He'll just collect every single thing, duplicate what the rake's been doing, drive nice and straight down the middle of the course. But I'm just going to stop him there, and what I'm going to do next is the next crucial step in automating your silage process. So if we go to, let's say, just about here, just far enough away from the entrance that the tractor's got enough space to turn around. So we're going to get rid of that for now, and then what we want to do is start our course recording. So we're going to record a course. I should have probably explained that before already, shouldn't I? Get rid of that. So we're still on field work. It doesn't really matter for this next part, but what we want to do is clear whatever course we had, and then we want to create a brand new course which we're going to drive to the BGA. So I'm just going to drive there to the BGA. I'll do a bit of a time lapse, maybe cut this out, and then you'll join me back at the BGA. So I'm driving the wrong way, which is never the best start. Let's go back. So you can see there, if you haven't done this before, you can see it's leaving a load of dots, and what this does is when I save this course, the tractor or whatever piece of machinery will actually follow this course. So we're going to get rid of that because we went the wrong way, and clear it and start course recording again, and hopefully this time we will go in the right direction, which is to the BGA, which is quite a far drive from the from field 29. So I'll just drive over there and I'll meet you back at the BGA for the next section. Okie dokie, so we're approaching the BGA now. In here we have a clamp which I've already placed. We've got one bunker there already full, and that's fermenting nicely. I'm going to put this field's chaff into this bunker here. So we pull up to the start of the bunker, and then we want to press the P to create a waypoint, and hopefully what that should do is it should tell the machinery to empty the loader into this BGA, and what it'll do is it will drive at a set speed, and it will unload the chaff nicely and evenly into that bunker there. We don't have to put a P at the end, we just drive away and then continue the course, and I will join you back at field 29 again. Okie dokie, so we're approaching field 29 again. Now what we want to do is just drive back into this field. We want to drive a bit of a way in, not too far, but just enough, just so the tractor can turn around, just if it needs to get to its next point. Just about there should do. And then what we do is we just press stop recording. We don't need to put a waypoint here. Normally if we were creating a point-to-point course, we'd usually put a waypoint P there to stop the tractor, make him stop rather than driving back. But in this case, we just want to end the course there, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it now. So it's field 29, and that is to BGA, and then I usually put left, so I know that that one is going to empty in the left hand bunker in the BGA. So he's there, just got him, he's finished. So if we just stop the course, get him out of the way. Oh, he's still fired up. Don't really need to, but I'll just move him out of the way somewhere. He needs a bit of a clean, I know that for sure. So turn him off, leave him there. Little Ford pootling along, raking all this grass for us. And what we can do, like I said, I don't normally like to have two vehicles, two pieces of machinery in a field working at the same time, but it's not the end of the world. Shouldn't be too bad anyway. It's normally when they're doing the up-down rows that there starts to be a bit of a conflict with the vehicles. So if we pull up to there, now we need to make sure we've saved this course, which I have, which is field 29, 2 BGA and left, and then we clear it. And then what we do, we manage courses, and we want field 29 Rake and Collect. We want to open that up, load that course, and then we want field 29 BGA left. We want to open that as well. Now if we go on this little eye here, it will show you a map of the course. So what this is going to do now is it's going to go around and it's going to collect this chaff here which has been left. Oh, it's just grass really, it's not really chaff, it hasn't been chopped. And then when it's full, it's going to follow this course here, empty, return, and then it's going to come back to the last place where it was full. So I'm going to get this set up. We'll just pull back a little bit. We've already done a little bit. Sometimes if you say you've saved the game and you've quit and then you come back on and you want to carry on, you can do that, but sometimes when it's done a loop and delivered the grass to the BGA, it will go around the field again until it picks up where it left off. So sometimes you might just have to manually go back. So let's do it actually now. So normally you've got this course set up, you go first waypoint, drive course, but it's going to go over somewhere where we've already been, which is a waste of time, and obviously it's costing us money because we're hiring a worker to do that. So if you just drive up, say if you come back onto the game, drive up to your last place where he's picked up his grass there, the silage, and then we want to go for the next close, no, not next closest, we want to go to the nearest waypoint in this case. So nearest waypoint, drive the course, and he will merrily pick up that silage there ready to go into the clamp. So we'll turn that off, we'll let him do his thing, and we will follow him as he collects this and then drives over to the BGA and hopefully unloads the silage into the clamp. So I will join you shortly. Right, we're approaching the BGA now, and hopefully I have stop at last waypoint triggered, which you can just see here, which sets active, but hopefully he won't stop. And what he'll do instead was empty this load of grass into this bay here. Sometimes doesn't quite work, but it usually does. So just coming in now, shouldn't need to do anything, and he should, once the trailer's reached there you can see he's starting to empty, and he'll do it nice and evenly as well, as you can see here, and he'll do a perfect line actually and stop perfectly, which is something I can't do myself usually. Now one thing you need to be aware of when you're doing this, obviously that pile is going to get bigger and you need to make sure that you're compacting it and that the tractor that you're using can actually climb up the mound of silage once it does get up to quite a height. This has got plenty of power for this, and I'm using the small bunkers as well. That one that I have already has about 260 or 280,000 litres in it, and it managed to climb up the hill. Alright, in the next video that I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how to set up the loader to automatically compact the BGA, and we're going to unload the silage, which is in the right hand clamp as well. We're going to do that automatically, but I'm going to leave that for another episode. And this one we're just going to get this grass collected and then into the BGA silage silo like you've just seen. So I'm going to cut to field 29 now and then just wrap up the video and just show you the last little bit before I finish. So we're approaching field 29 now, and what you should do was drive up to the end of the course which we just recorded, and then if everything is set up correctly he should go straight back to the point at which he was full. So we'll just watch and see what he does. Hopefully he doesn't crash into the little ford there. He's slowing right down in the field. I don't know actually, if we go to the settings, not the settings, we want to go to speed limits, turn speed, field speed is set to 14, so I don't know why he's going so slow, but we'll leave him to it. So you can see there, because we didn't put a waypoint or a trigger there, he's just going to drive off, and he's driving to the last location where he was full, and it seems to be all working. Just need to be aware about that turning point. You do need to make sure the tractor can turn fully before it starts or exits, before it enters or exits the field really. So you can see here he needs to be able to manoeuvre to the row. He needs enough space to do that, and he's going to put down the collector and he's going to start off again, and it'll just repeat that until the field is completely done, and it'll just go round and round and do that for you, and you won't have to drive back and forward for yourself, so you can get on with other things around the farm if you've got other things to do. And yeah, it just saves a lot of back and forth, especially on a map like this, which is, you know, the drive is quite long from field 29 all the way to the BGA, so we'll do that for you. So yeah, that's it for this episode. I think we've covered all the basic points of automating your silage operation, and then obviously in the next episode we can talk about what we do in the BGA with the silage itself. So I'm going to leave it there for today. If you found it useful, please do hit the like button. It really does help small channels like mine get noticed. If you've got any comments, questions, do leave them in the comment section below, and I'll try and get to those and answer any queries that you have. So there we are, automated silaging using Courseplay. So I'm going to say, until next time, bye bye.